Before we dive in, I want to take just a second to tell you about the Soul Shine Collective. This is my community over on School, and that is School with a K. And it's where women just like you come to do the deeper work. We have two tiers, aligned and abundant. The abundant tier is where I pour the most of myself into you. Live coaching, direct access to me, exclusive workshops, and a community of women who are done playing small. If you've been circling around the idea of going deeper, this is your sign. Head to the link in the show notes and come find your people. Okay, let's get into it. When was the last time you made a decision? A real one that mattered, without checking with anyone else first. No Googling it, no asking your best friend what she did, no scrolling to see what everyone else thinks is right, no pulling a card to confirm what you already felt in your body the second the question crossed your mind. I'm asking because I've been sitting with this one hard this week, and I have a feeling a lot of you are going to recognize yourself in it too. Welcome back to Aligned and Abundant. I'm your host, Christine Marcario, intuitive spiritual teacher and Reiki master teacher. And if you've been with me for this journey, we've been calling the return. Welcome back, beautiful soul. We are 5 episodes deep now. Quick check-in on where we've been because it matters. We started by slowing down and letting that be the highest frequency move you can make. Then we went into the body, into the somatic wisdom that's been living in you the whole time. We went into lineage and how healing yourself heals the ones who came before you and your future ancestors. And last week, we went into the depth, the difference between a spiritual practice that soothes you and one that actually transforms you. Now, I asked you to bring your practice a real question and listen. If you did that homework, I want you to notice something for me today. When you asked yourself the real question and you sat with it, who answered? Was it you, or was it the version of you that's been trained to wait for someone else to answer? Because that's exactly what we're going to get into today. Week 5, inner authority. Here's what inner authority actually means. It means you trust yourself so completely that you stop looking outside yourself for permission, for validation, or for direction. Not because you have all the answers, not because you're never afraid or never unsure, but because you've built a relationship with your own knowing that's strong enough to hold you, even in the not knowing. And I think this is one of the hardest things we do as women, especially the kind of woman who's listening to this podcast right now. Because so many of us are deeply intuitive. We feel things, we sense things, we know things before we can even explain why. And yet, we still ask, we still check. If you're like me, you create a pro and con list and you spend 17 hours on chat. We are still waiting for someone else to say, yes, go ahead. That is a great idea. So I want to tell you about a season of my life where I did this so much. It is hard for me to say how long I spent. When I was first thinking about leaving teaching, like really leaving, I knew. I want you to hear that. I knew some deep, quiet, unshakable part of me had already made the decision. And instead of trusting that, I kept avoiding it because staying in the discomfort was easier than making the decision to leave. It was all I had known. I had left college and went right into my teaching career. So I didn't know what was on the other side of making that decision. And I didn't trust myself. I asked other people's opinions. I went for psychic readings. I would pull tarot cards for myself. I would go down the rabbit hole of reading blogs. What else could I do outside of teaching? And so I sat with that for years, idle in actually making a decision. But my inner knowing always knew that the next chapter was not going to be in a traditional public school setting. You see, I was looking for permission everywhere except the one place that it actually lived, which was right here inside me. And here's the thing nobody tells you. You can collect 100 yeses from other people, and none of them will ever feel as solid as the one from yourself. So let's talk about why we do this. Why do so many intuitive, capable people hand their authority away? Because somewhere along the line, we were taught that our knowing wasn't enough on its own. Maybe you were the kid who got told you were too sensitive or too much or overthinking it, when really you were just sensing something true before you had the words for it. Maybe you grew up watching adults around you make decisions from fear or from what looked good or from what everyone else expected. So that became the blueprint. Maybe a relationship, a church, a job, a family system taught you that someone else's opinion of you mattered more than your own opinion of yourself. Whatever the root is for you, the result is the same. You learn to outsource your knowing. And outsourcing your knowing doesn't feel dangerous in the moment. It actually feels responsible, careful, smart even. I'm just gathering more information. I'll know when I'm ready. I just want a second opinion. I don't want to be impulsive. But there's a difference between gathering wisdom and abdicating your authority. One adds to your knowing and the other replaces it. I want to give you 3 things that helped me reclaim mine because, full transparency, this is not a lesson I learned once and now I'm done. This is a muscle and I'm still building it. Number 1, notice the moment you go outside yourself. Just notice it. Don't judge it. This week, catch yourself in the act. Catch the moment you're about to make a decision and your hand reaches for the phone to text someone, or your mind starts composing the Google search, or you open up Claude, or you open up your chat. Just pause right there. Ask yourself, what do I already know about this before I ask anyone else? I would advise you to even just go pen to paper and answer that question because that is usually the most honest and most informative information you will get. Number 2, separate information from permission. Sometimes you do need more information. That's real and that's wise and that's smart. Asking a doctor a medical question, asking a lawyer a legal question, that's information. But watch for the moment it turns into you needing someone to bless the decision you've already made inside. Those are 2 very different things. And most of us blur them constantly. Get honest with yourself about which one you're actually doing. Number 3, practice small, low-stakes trust before you need big trust. You don't build inner authority in the middle of the biggest decision of your life. You build it in the small ones. What to make for dinner without scrolling for a recipe. Which route to drive without checking the map. Whether to leave the party early because your body is done, even if the night is technically still young. Every time you trust that small nudge and allow and follow it without needing to justify it to anyone, you're making a deposit into the same account you'll draw from when the big moment comes. I want to be honest about something else too. Reclaiming your inner authority is not always comfortable, and it will not always be popular with the people around you. When you stop asking for permission, some people in your life are going to notice, and not everyone is going to love it because your outsourcing wasn't just costing you. It was also, in some strange way, giving other people a role. The friend who always weighs in, the family member who's used to being the one you check in with before any big decisions. When you quietly stop needing that from them, it can create friction, even if nobody says it out loud. Now, that's not a reason to stay small. That's actually confirmation you're doing it right. Growth that doesn't ruffle a single feather around you is usually not growth at all. That is exactly the kind of work I hold space for inside the Soul Shine Collective, because reclaiming your inner authority is so much easier when you're not doing it in isolation. Second guessing yourself the whole way. In the abundant tier, we work on exactly this, trusting your own knowing out loud in real time with support around you. If you've been craving a container like that, the link is in the show notes. Let's talk about what it actually feels like in the body, because inner authority isn't just a mindset shift, it's somatic too. When you're about to make a choice, notice what happens physically. Outsourced decisions often come with a subtle tightness, a bracing, like you're waiting to find out if you did it right. An inner authority decision feels right. It might still come from fear, but underneath the fear, there's a steadiness, a quiet exhale, almost like your body already settled it before your mind caught up. Start paying attention to that difference. Your body will teach you to recognize your own yeses. Here is your action step for this week. I want you to make one decision, just one. Doesn't have to be huge, entirely from your own inner authority. No outside input, no asking, no Googling, no checking. Something you would normally run past someone else first this week, and you keep it between you and you. Notice how it feels before you decide. Notice how it feels after. Write it down if you journal. That contrast is the whole lesson. And if you want to go deeper with this, bring it into your practice the way we talked about last week. Sit with the question, where in my life have I been outsourcing my knowing? Before you even try to answer it in words, let your body answer first. Okay, beautiful soul, week 5 wrapped. We are 5 episodes deep into the return. And I want to take a second to honor you again, because trusting yourself after years of not trusting yourself is not a small thing. It is quiet, unglamorous, deeply important work, and you are doing it. Next week, our final week of this series, we bring it all the way home. We're talking about surrender and about what it actually means to return. Everything we've built these past 6 weeks, the slowing down, the somatic wisdom, the lineage healing, the depth, the inner authority, it all comes together. I cannot wait to close this out with you. Before I let you go, come find me on Instagram at christine.marcario.coach. That's where I share energy updates, behind the scenes moments, and all the things that don't make it into the episodes. And if this series has been meeting you where you are, if you're ready to stop doing this work alone, the Soul Shine Collective is where you want to be. The abundant tier has my deepest involvement, and I would love to walk this path with you. All the details are in the show notes. Sending you so much love, and until next episode, I'm Christine Marcario. This is Aligned and Abundant. Bye for now.